Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for all the comments, likes, subscriptions on my last video. I'm very grateful and I'm back at it again. I filmed this video last week, but I was like doped up on caffeine and could not get my words out. So remake. In this video, I'll be talking about my eating disorder. I dealt with binge eating, restricting, emotional eating, all that good stuff. So if you struggle with any of that, this is a great video because this is gonna be one on how I healed it. So a little backstory, when I was younger, I had a lot of self-image issues, insecurities, and whatnot. We all have. Being bullied was definitely a big factor in that, you know. People would bully me because I had a mustache, I had hairy legs, you know what I mean? Like, just kids, man, like, it's crazy what the hell you get bullied for, because I'm like, that none of that even mattered, you know what I mean? But it's just so crazy, like, how, like, I still have never actually, like, thought about where bullying stems from, like how like kids' brains work like that. I think maybe they're just honest, because I did have a mustache, so fuck it, whatever. In middle school, when we wore tank tops, we all know we wore those like tight cotton from Hollister, American Eagle, Aeropostale, those V-necks that we wear tank tops underneath. Well, when I wore those, I would take Scotch packaging tape. I literally would tape my stomach. I don't think anyone knows this. Yeah, I would tape my stomach. So I would take the tape, start it here, and just pull it, and then end it here, just like stick it here so it'd bring everything in. So then I actually wore 2 tank tops so no one can see it. So it wouldn't make a noise when I walked or like bent over, like the 2 tank tops kind of like, I don't know. But I mean, it worked, and I did it for a really long time. And looking back, that's pretty sad. So I'm really happy where I'm with where I'm at now with my self-confidence and self-image. Especially in the past year. 23 was a really hard year for me, but now at 24, I think things have just gotten better and better. Especially about to turn 25 this year. It's just like, thank God that I'm not the same as I used to be. So yeah, let's get started. So I binged really bad. I think a lot of it stemmed from being a vegan, but not just not being satisfied with the food I was eating. I never wanted to believe it was from veganism, but now that I look back at it, it definitely was. So therefore, I think it led me to binge, and my binging started, I moved overseas and I moved back. So it started, like when I moved back to live with a roommate, she was awesome. And it started then. I was just binging. I knew I was binging, and I would like hide food from her. I would go to the grocery store, buy a bunch of food, eat some on the way home, and then have some more for then. So it wouldn't look like I'm eating everything all at once. Like, there was some sneaky, gnarly shit I did just to hide my problem. And I would journal about it. Like, I would feel so guilty about binge eating. And because it was just like enormous amounts. And if you struggle with binge eating, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, enormous amounts, like, it was just really bad. So I thought it was an emotional eating problem because I was like, no, my emotions are like honestly so fucked up. I'm taking it out on food. I don't think that was the case. I think it just inevitably ended up being that I was not getting what my body truly needed. Not from a vegan diet, at least. So, I let things hit rock bottom before I changed. I didn't talk about it with my therapist. I didn't talk about it with my family. I think I mentioned it to my mom like one time. And and my sister, no one really knew, you know? I had a bad problem with me fasting the next day. Like I would fast for like 16 to 20 hours because of the guilt I had from binge eating. I also would walk 10,000 steps immediately, like the morning after I binged, just to feel better about myself. And, you know, I had those fear foods where it's like I get the peanut butter from the store and I eat it like, oh, this is my last peanut butter jar. I'm never gonna eat this again. Like the food is gonna stay there. Like peanut butter will always be there for me. Like it doesn't need to be my last jar. Like I just had this crazy mindset. So I hit a breaking point and I ended up coming across this account on Twitter, and it was just basically shitting on veganism and how it's a really unsatisfying diet. And there's a lot of people explaining their experiences with a vegan diet. And I was like, wait, I'm kind of experiencing this stuff too, because I had been ignoring the physical and like the physical things that were happening to my body, like teeth hurting, like what I explained in my last video. So then I started YouTubing videos with, like I typed in the search, why I stopped being vegan. And I really resonated with all those videos. And I was like, holy shit, this is hitting really hard. And I really think this is a problem. And some people mentioned binge eating, you know, because they weren't satisfied with the food they were eating. But, you know, with the vegan mindset I had, I would say it can't be the food. Like I was so obsessed basically with being a vegan and it with like so true to my beliefs and what I believed, you know. So that's why I didn't want to change or didn't think it was the vegan diet. So yeah, after that, I was just like, holy fuck. I have been mistreating my body for a really long time and not listening to what it truly needs. So I changed. I started just Googling how I stopped my binge eating disorder, like all that stuff. I just started Googling and YouTubing random shit, okay? That's what I started doing. And I came across this girl on Instagram, or on YouTube, I think first, and then I found her Instagram, and she mentioned this book, Breaking Free from Emotional Eating by Janine Roth. This book saved my life. This book is the reason why I stopped being a vegan and how I healed my eating disorder. Because I could talk about everything I did while binging. I could talk about how much I ate, you know, how much I hid. You know, when I smoked weed, oh my God, don't even get me started. When I smoked weed, it was over. Like that pantry would be gone. Like, so bad. But yeah, this book just really changed my life. And I just wanted to cut to the point on this one, because if you're struggling, you need to buy this book. Because, you know, people can say, oh, journal, meditate, seek a therapist, or like, but if you're not gonna read, like, you need to read this book if you want to heal. This is the answer, in my opinion. For me, at least, it helped me. And I really am like hoping it will help you as I tell you about it, because it truly moved me and turned me into a different person. I didn't realize all the fucked up shit I was doing, you know, like being on my phone when I ate and not really like enjoying smelling and tasting my food. Just all these distractions, like standing up while eating in the car, not eating what I wanted, you know, like having these fear foods. Like I went through a point where I ate a smoothie bowl. Like I read this book and basically she's like, eat whatever the fuck you want. And I literally ate a smoothie bowl for 6 days in a row. You can ask my sister, it might've been more. Because I just had to get comfortable with wanting something and allowing myself to have it. That's the biggest thing that I learned from my veganism, my binge eating disorder, or like being a vegan, my binge eating disorder. Like, you're allowed to eat what you want when you want. I now eat ice cream multiple times a week. I've stayed the same weight. Mind you, when I read this book, I had to let so much ego go, and it was the most transforming time of my life after I read this. And I love when a book influences you that hard, because especially when you're going through something so heavy and you can't really and you don't want to talk about it with people, and like people can't, you know, the average Joe can't relate to you. It's just like you feel alone. And like when I binged, I just blacked out, you know. I always blacked out when I binged. Like it was like another person was in my body and was doing the damage. To give your brain a break from social media, to give your brain a break from all the thoughts you have in your head, you know, let your eyes just read a natural book. I mean, and you can read it as an ebook or get on Amazon, read on your Kindle if you want. But I'm saying just like pick up a book, this book, and just like read it and just indulge in it. And maybe read it twice. I think I should read it twice, honestly. But yeah, so that's really it. That's the video. This is how I healed my binge eating disorders with this book. Like, I'm sorry if, you know, you came on here and expected like all these tips, tricks, and things I did. But I have to say it all started with this. I mean, it starts with self-awareness, obviously. Like, if you have a binge eating disorder or you know that someone has one and you're watching this, like, there's awareness there. But, like, the next step is healing it. So this is what you got to do. And then you got to apply what you learned in this book. And I didn't do all of the things. You know, she does have, I think, journal things you can write down and stuff like that. And, like, little workshops you can do. But she has helped so many people around the world, I think, or the United States with the workshops she's held, and she is just, she's not kidding. It says, and many more strategies to help you break the binge diet cycle forever. Like, I have not binged since I read this book. Like, it just did it for me. So I really hope that if you struggle with binge eating or restrictive eating, or you're not eating enough, or you're eating too much, I hope that you find this book and you buy it or something and you heal, because this book is very special to me. What the okay, I didn't know I was gonna cry, but I think this is like good to put in here. Maybe this is like showing you how serious I am, but like, I'm so grateful for Janine Roth. Like, she's that bitch. Yeah, so if this doesn't like explain or like tell you how much this changed my life and how serious I am, then I don't know what to tell you. But I thank you guys. I'm gonna end it now because I just feel like I gotta have a cry session. But I thank you guys so much for, I thought I just like wiped mascara on my eyes. I was like, I didn't put mascara on today. I thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me and being with me on my journey. And yeah, I really appreciate each and every one of you that watches my videos, likes them, subscribes to my channel, comments on them. I am so grateful. And I'm sending peace, love, happiness to everyone who's watching this. And if you're going through a hard time with eating, please give yourself grace and give yourself grace. Allow yourself to feel and know that you can heal. It's possible. I thought I was going to be a binge eater forever. And, you know, there's times your girl is emotional on her period and she wants a brownie or 3. But if you have dealt with binge eating, you know how dark that black hole is. I'm sweating. You know how dark that black hole is, and it's hard to get out. And I feel for people who struggle with that. So, yep, this is my calling. My calling was to bring out this book and tell you that no matter how many things I say that I did to heal my journey or my binge eating problem, this was the root of it all. And this is everything I know is from this bad boy. So, thank you. This got emotional. That really just sprung across me hella quick. But anyways, I hope you have a blessed day, blessed night, whatever time you're watching this, and tune in for next time's video.